Tamagoyaki, 3 ways. Large egg, dashi soup base. This one is chicken. Mirin, sweet wine, light soy sauce, sugar, and sea salt. First one will be egg by itself, then I will do seaweed, then I will do ham and cheese. This is just my own little version, but you can do many different flavours. You can put green onion in there, you can do salmon flake, fish flake, anything like that you want. But as long as it looks clean and it's rolled nice. It's almost like an egg sushi, think of it that way. So just keep that in mind. You want a large egg, preferably free range, but use what you can get hold of. So just to explain, I love cooking, and I love cooking from all around the world, and this is the first time that I've made this. I've made many different omelettes, I've done rolled omelettes, all these type of things, but I've never done traditional tamagoyaki. Just to explain there, tamago is grilled, yaki means egg. So very simple, grilled egg. So if I'm doing anything wrong, please let me know. Any Japanese student or any Japanese people themselves, please let me know what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, and how I can improve on this one. And before we start, please remember to like, share, follow, subscribe. Check me out on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. Thanks guys, let's get cracking. So to begin, we'll start with our mirin. It's about a tablespoon, and we'll put our sugar straight into there. Soy sauce, which also is a little bit less than a tablespoon. Now for the dashi, I figured this out. My small ladle is a little over a tablespoon, so I want about 3 tablespoons of dashi. I'll keep that to one side. So these can all go, and we want to whisk this up. I'm just hoping whilst I'm doing this and people are watching, there's not going to be a lot of Japanese people screaming at their TVs that I'm doing something terribly wrong. Just a couple of whisks of salt into that. We just want to get that dissolving. Make sure your soup base, the dashi, is cold. We don't want it warm, otherwise it will start to cook the eggs. So now that we've got this, I'm going in with my egg. So I'm not Japanese, I'm not claiming any Japanese heritage. I just love to cook, and I'd love to travel the world and just sample different foods. I would have liked to have had a better quality egg. The yolks are a little bit light on these, but I get what I can get here in northern Canada. Now some people say, yeah, I think I might have put a bit too much soy sauce. Well, I'm not sure what happened to my sound there, but basically something went off. But I'm just going to give these a good mix up, get everything done. You want to make sure everything's fully combined before we start doing any cooking. And to be honest, I only decided to do this because I found the pan in the store, in the Filipino store. So here we go. I'll give it a try. I've seen it on video before, so first time for everything. So first things first, we go in just a little butter. Make sure it goes all edges, and we'll do this each time. And we'll test just with a little bit of egg. That's good. At least I hope it's good. You don't want too much. Move that around the pan. Just make sure we've got the correct amount of heat on that. Fill all areas, and we'll just keep poke and prod that little bit. Just let the air bubble out, and just let that egg cook. Now for me, it's going to be the rolling bit that's going to get to me a little bit, I guess. But you need to make sure that egg is solid first. Want all of that wet to be gone. That wasn't too bad. Get that first roll on. This one I'm just doing as a plain. Not as good as I wanted it. Right, I'm changing implement slightly. I'm just going to use a little spatula. We roll that and we roll that. And before we go down to the other end, rub a little bit more butter in there. And then move our egg down to the bottom. A little bit more butter in that bit. We will just double check again with a little bit of egg. Yep, still got good heat. Now it's important to have your heat right. If it's getting too hot, just move your pan to one side away from the heat. And so I've done my homework before trying this. Watched a couple of videos. There is a couple of nice videos in English. But if you want the authentic feel, definitely try for Japanese. I should have moved that a little bit faster, a little bit more egg in there. That might be cooling down a little now. But you want your stove about medium heat. So drop that in. That's better. And we make sure all areas, like say I've got it on the smallest ring of the stove. Just keep moving that around so the pan is even right the way. So that's not too bad. I'll let that settle a little bit more first. Go back to my spatula again. These inner sections are not as important. They can be a little bit untidy. But we need to make sure that our outer section is perfection. Silky smooth. So this is your practice, basically. Again, we'll go in with a little bit more butter. So you don't want lots, but it is important to get the butter in there. And we'll slide down to the bottom end again. A little bit more butter up here. It might seem like a lot of butter, but it's just the way it needs to be. Again, each time, check with that little bit of egg. Make sure we're cooking. And then we're going lift our roll up, get that egg under there if you need to. That one I've made a little bit of a mess of, but as I say, this is my first time. So again, I'm just going to keep moving this around. Not so much on these outer layers. We just want to get that cooked up. So the pan might be hot in the centre but cooler on the outside edges because of the shape. So I'm going to move up to the bigger ring. Just be careful you don't burn yourself. That's looking a little bit better now. This time I will go straight in with the spatula. You can use a spatula and flick at the same time. I can do a little flip. I'm working left-handed here because of the camera angle, but so it's a little bit more awkward. But that's looking pretty decent there so far for a first attempt. This is our last one. A little bit of butter in there again. Move our egg down. Touch more butter on this back end. I think I've got too much egg in there this time. Look, we want to lift this one up. Get that egg underneath. Break these whole air bubbles. I am the type of person I learn by watching, and then I learn by doing and experimenting. But just keep that egg moving around, and make sure your egg mixture that you've got, you keep stirring it in the jug, otherwise it is likely to separate slightly. Yeah, I mean, I would say I probably had a little bit too much egg in that one, but please don't shoot the messenger, as I say. I'm only learning. If your pan gets a little bit too hot, yep, that one broke. So that one's a bit of a fail, but it's still going to get eaten. Now what I would normally do, if I can find it, I don't know where it's gone to. I do have the bamboo mat to roll it in. So I'm just going to move that to one side, see if I can find that. There at the moment. So we'll try that one again. So I'm only learning. Please be gentle. And we're going again with our egg. Just wish I hadn't put too much soy sauce in here. Well, it's not too much soy sauce, it's just too dark of a soy sauce. If you have too much egg, just run them along to the ends. This is a little bit more difficult than I thought it would be, because I do make a lot of omelettes anyway, but it's about learning. I'm just going to go in now, a little bit of seaweed. And we'll try that one. I want to let that set up a little bit more. Seaweed makes it a little bit more difficult. It's soft, but we've got, just pull that one over. A little bit too much colour on that one, but just take it off the heat a little bit. Right, before we go back over there, a bit more butter. As you see me do already, I don't need much. We can slide this down to the bottom end. A little bit more butter in here. And then we go straight in with our egg again. I need to practice with my chopstick a bit more too. I might be getting this egg a little bit too thick. But this is all about learning. I would appreciate if anybody would give me some hints and tips on this one. I want the egg to cook, but I don't want to get too much colour on it, so I'll keep lifting it off the heat. I can move it over to the side. Either side, I'll just lift it up. We'll go in with a little bit more seaweed, let that one start to set up, soften. Roll. Roll. That one's a little bit easier. This last, actually, we'll get some butter in there first. This last one, no seaweed in the roll. Get the chopstick under there again. Let that run. We'll break some of these down. So I think that might be a little bit of better thickness. If you're watching and you know how to do this, let me know. I think we're ready to roll. Or we're ready to make a mess, one of the two. That doesn't look too bad. And I'll roll that one the same as I did the other one, in the bamboo mat. And then we'll get on to our next one. Right, our final one will be the ham and cheese. So again, we go in, get our egg. And I don't know whether it's right or not, but I will be eating this with rice. Why am I eating it with rice? Because my wife's Filipina and we love rice. That's your simple answer. So this one, a little bit of ham. And then a little bit of cheese on this section. And just keep rolling. It's a little bit more tricky with the ham. But I've seen this on street food. There we go. Quick and positive movements. That's what you need. Take it off the heat a bit. Pan's getting too hot. Oops. Well, I think I made a mess of that one. Well, as the artist Bob Ross used to say, we don't make mistakes, we have happy accidents. So you can always add that little bit of extra egg if you've got little holes. I think the thing that makes it difficult is the heat to cooking ratio. You just need to balance that one out properly. And say this one's got a bit of a frill on there, so turn that one over. That's not too bad. It's just getting that initial movements right. Yeah, just try not to lift that up too much, I guess. And if you angle your pan, you get the heat just on this section as opposed to over there. And if you think it's getting too much, just lift it off, as I said before. We're getting close there, and just I'll find a little piece. We'll just put a little bit of seaweed in that one. We have that left over, so why not? And again, I will roll that one, and we're going to slice this up into rounds and then present them to you. So normally you place it on and roll and just leave that for 5 minutes or so, and that will help hold its shape. So I'm going to start plating up. The first one broke apart slightly, but I just want them into, I'll cut them in half first, and then I'll cut them into 3 equal sections. Make sure your knife is nice and sharp, and then basically we'll just put these onto a plate. So these ones broke off slightly, but live and learn. I know better now, and the more I do this, the better I should get. So that's just our plain egg. Then we have this one with seaweed. So again, cut that in half. And these ends were a little bit ugly, so basically we put them on the bottom so they're not seen. Try and take a bit more care than what I am here. I'm not exactly a sushi master. And this is the biggest of them, with the ham and whatnot inside. Just put that to one side now. So again, you really need to let these cool a lot more than what I have. But we're hungry, and we've got a busy day ahead of us. Cheese is melting nicely in there. The ham. I mean, I'm not sure how many rules I've broken here for doing this. So this is my version. Just what I had in the cupboard, as it were. If you want to, I've got ham left over. So the plain, you can put a piece of ham on top, like they would with sushi. If you've got salmon, smoked salmon would be absolutely fantastic now. I say they just use up your ingredient and makes it look a little bit more pretty. I mean, I've seen the guys doing the sushi and they take so much care and pride over what they do. I'm not sure whether I have that patience. And as you understand it, it takes about 15 years to train to do that. So hats off and all credit to them guys. I have seaweed left over. You can have one of them on top as well if you want. It would be nice if they're all the same size, but I mean, aside from the butter on this, it's quite a healthy alternative. It's a breakfast dish. I should probably be using small tongue or chopstick for placing on. But as I said, I'm not an expert. I just like trying new things. So there's something like that should do. I'll bring that up for a closer look. Let me know what you think. It might be terrible. It might be horrid to your mind, but I'm enjoying it so far. Hey guys, so there we have it. One breakfast ready to go. Tamagoyaki rolled omelette with different fillings. We're going to have this with some rice, a little bit of dipping sauce, probably chili and soy sauce together with a garlic vinegar, and some nice fresh spring onion. So please remember to like, share, follow me on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok and Instagram.